Hey guys, this is Kathleen from Purple Sky Oracle Readings, and I'd like to talk to you today about the source of intuitive information. There is a very real phenomena in the world of intuitive work where we are receiving specific information about a person, and a lot of times there's a curiosity as to how that information is being received and where is it coming from. It's an interesting and dynamic topic, I think, because there's not really a regulatory body for people doing intuitive work, or a certification process, or a specific training regimen, or a licensing structure. So as a client, it's kind of trial and error in terms of finding someone that you resonate with who can offer you information that's useful for you and empowering in a good way. And there's different styles of readings as well. A lot of people will ask me, especially at trade shows and whatnot, are you channeling angels? Are you an angel reader? And to me, I really focus less on naming the source that the information is coming from, as opposed to ensuring that I am providing quality information. So I've set it up that I'm constantly checking within myself, and I have a process of working with my own guides, as it were, that I keep largely personal. You know, when you come for a reading with me, it's not about me, and it's not about the guides either. It's about you, as far as I'm concerned. To me, in some cases, spending a lot of time to emphasize that the information is coming from an archangel, or that it's coming from an ascended master, that it's coming from a famous historical figure. It's kind of, it's all part of the show, really, you know. Just because someone is saying that they are channeling a high-level entity for you and to provide you the information doesn't necessarily make the information worthwhile. It's up to us, in the end, to always use our own process of discernment, and to look at the quality and the content of what is being offered over the identification or the claim of where the information is coming from. So, 3 things to look for. Is it clear? Is it consistent? And is it useful? That's kind of my guiding light in this process. When we're tapping into the greatest potential of what we can offer, I believe the information will always be clear. It won't be confusing. It won't be a riddle. Clarity. Second, is it consistent? If you're going through a reading process and the first kind of half of it is leading you in one direction, then all of a sudden there's a statement here that leads you in another direction, and then a statement here that kind of contradicts what the first statement was, but it all sounds really pretty, that would be an indication to me to analyze further the quality of the information. So a good source, a good intuitive reading will consist of information that leads you to a greater sense of clarity and not a greater sense of confusion. And thirdly, is it useful? We can open ourselves up to levels of being influenced, and sometimes if we're not going in with a good guide or a good grounding, we can attach ourselves to concepts or experiences that we have, and all of a sudden we are the purveyor of a new religion, a religion that we created ourselves because of an experience that we had, or some concepts that we attached to, and all of a sudden we think we know things that we can't truly be sure of, and it can get sketchy. I know, especially when I was first beginning my spiritual journey and opening up to the unseen realms in the way that it happened for me, it was kind of chaotic and a little bit scary, and I learned very quickly that just because I might be communicating with some extrasensory being did not necessarily mean that they had a useful intention for me, or any desire to support me in particular in my growth, or any particular value to what they were offering. And a lot of times I ended up more confused than I did empowered in my early interactions with the spirit world. And as a further point, if you are interested in exploring your own intuitive connection and perhaps dabbling in mediumship or working in a more clear and concise way with your own guides, angels, whatever the case may be, I would recommend to do so with a guide, if at all possible, someone who is very grounded, very practical, who is experienced in meditation or in working with spirit in one way or another, so that you're not kind of alone in the dark figuring things out for yourself. It can be confusing. It's a dynamic world out there and in here and worth exploring, but also really worth questioning. So my main message to summarize is to check when you're getting a reading. Is it clear? Is it consistent? Is it useful? Is this something that I feel good about? Always check in with how you're feeling throughout the reading. You should not feel any force of manipulation or an aspect of control or attachment on the part of the reader for you to receive their information in a specific way. It should be very open-ended, and you should leave feeling a greater sense of empowerment and upliftment and ideally grounding, as far as I'm concerned, like practical grounding in this world, as opposed to being distracted by the pretty lights and colors and sounds that can manifest in the spiritual realm but are not necessarily going to be supportive of you in your highest good. So, if you're interested in what I do, I encourage you to send me a message, like my page on Facebook, Purple Sky Oracle Readings, and we can chat about what's going on with you in your life and how I might be able to help. And until then, have fun. Peace out.